when I started the blog, I never thought I would make $1 from it.
Hey there. Appreciate you checking out this episode of Creator Spotlight. Today, I sat down with Amber Katz, who's the founder of the beauty and fashion blog Rouge 18. Amber and I discussed how she's built success online since launching her blog back in 2006. She shared insights on how the web ecosystem has changed over the years, as well as how she's turned her passion for beauty and fashion into a successful online business. Hope you enjoy the episode. Can you tell me how you got started in the blogging space?
Yes. So I was one of the first, I want to say like 5 beauty bloggers. There were very few when I started. I started my blog in April of 2006. And the blogging terrain in general, as I'm sure you know, is very different than it is now. I always loved beauty products. I was very much a beauty, junkie. I was always, trying to give my brother like facials, and he's 5 years older. I would like negotiate with him and let him watch whatever boring like boy cartoons he wanted to watch on TV if he would let me like, use like a apricot scrub on his face. My relationship with beauty was always very deep and real. And in 2006, I was a financial writer and I didn't like it at all. So I actually started my blog from my cubicle at PricewaterhouseCoopers, where I worked in the marketing department. And I initially just started it as an outlet, just for me. And I thought maybe my mom would read it and a few people, a few friends would read it. And it sort of, became an entire other career, which is amazing.
How did it end up becoming so successful? I know you have a massive following now. What were the steps or what certain things made your blog successful when you were early on, maybe creating content from another job, which I'm sure a lot of up and coming bloggers are doing?
I started the blog in 2006. I just sort of, reviewed every product I had bought at like the drugstore, and Sephora was, I don't even think, a thing at that point. Beauty blogging was sort of becoming more well known. And there was a New York Times article, I want to say in like 2000, maybe a year after after I started my blog. And that sort of like let the industry know that bloggers were like happening at all. And then very soon after that New York Times article, there was Women's Wear Daily did a roundup of the top 10 beauty blogs, and they put me on it. And so by this point, I'd been blogging for 2 years, and that was like a major game changer. And so after that, beauty brands started to put me on their PR press lists, and they would send me, emails about new products. They would mail me products to try. It was, a crazy time. I couldn't even believe that, these brands that I'd been buying and using for so long were like working directly with me. And this was all, I still had my financial job, by the way. I did both things simultaneously for 4 years.
It sounds like a lot of really cool doors opened up from you just sharing your passion for the beauty space. Once you started building a following, how did you start monetizing that?
My blog started making money, I want to say, after that Women's Wear Daily article. I would be approached by brands to partner with them on sponsored posts. And this whole like economy was even sort of just emerging at that time anyway. So, it's like an advertorial for a magazine, a blog, you know how it works. A brand will, have key messaging points they want me to cover. It's of course disclosed. They'll give me a product or a range of products to try. I'll try them and give my, honest review. If it's a product that I don't feel like I have anything good to say about, I'll pass on the partnership. The blog itself was, it generated a fair amount of my income for several years. And, so, the shift to Instagram changed that. But at one point, I was represented by, I had a management company. I had an agent managing these brand partnerships with me for a while, which was great. So it was good to not have to be the person on the phone, like, saying like I'm a tastemaker and all of that. It's so awkward. So it was nice to, not have to do that.
Have you seen a trend away from long form content and more relying on visuals, videos, infographics with shorter text? Or do you feel like, is there still demand for, 1,000+ word blogs?
That's a really good question. It's funny because there maybe, 5 or 6 years ago, it became all about short content. And it was almost like your blog should just be like, a really beautiful photo and a caption. No one cared about reading for, I want to say, a good 5 years. And
Yeah.
then longer form writing sort of came back. Like it was even on social media, people were writing in longer form, messages, and newsletters became a really big thing. It was almost like people really started to relish like well reported longer features because it was sort of like eating a meal as opposed to like eating a snack.
Right.
And I think, with SEO, longer form posts do better. So there's also that. So I would say like there was a period where shorter was definitely better. And now I would say longer is better, or at least something in the middle to longer.
Have you played around with any different formats of content? I know when you think about a blog, you think about long form articles, and you mentioned that's one of your core strengths. Do you play around with different formats for content on your blog, or are you pretty comfortable with the current structure?
I do actually, yeah. So maybe, in the age of the, BuzzFeed exploding, however long ago that was,
Yeah.
it became very listicle and list oriented. And I definitely implemented that on my blog. And I feel that that's been a good thing. I don't, not every single post is a list or a
Hmm.
listicle.
Yeah.
But that format really, that's how people like to consume blog content a lot of times. So like I do a Sunday, or my assistant editor, she does a Sunday roundup of, just good links on the web to,
Hmm.
distract you from having the Sunday scaries. So yeah, the whole list format thing has definitely, I've incorporated that.
When you look at creating list content, a lot of times you see folks that are monetizing that through affiliates, right? So it's like, here's 10 makeup
Yeah.
options for some segment, and a percentage of those, if not all of them, there's an affiliate relationship happening. Could you
Yeah.
lift up the hood and tell folks about what that is, if you use
Yeah.
that sort of a strategy, and if you're blogging and creating lists, like how do you even connect with those affiliate products? Like where do you even start?
There are a few sort of like avenues for that. One is reward style. Basically, reward style generates links for, all types of retailers online, and they
Hmm.
have everything from it's female focused, I think, but they have everything from like the Container Store to Sephora to Bloomingdale's to all kinds of things. Another thing is skim links, which automatically converts any, retailer you are partnered with in an affiliate program. It automatically converts those links to your monetized version of that link, so that you get a share of, any sale that you make if somebody, clicks through from your blog. And the third thing is just like the regular affiliate programs. There's like Rakuten, or however you pronounce it, is one. Commission Junction. There are quite a few. So depending on which, retailers you're working with, they may be working with, one of these like 3 or 4 big affiliate programs. So just like making sure to look into partnering, like setting up an account with Rakuten or whatever, and then going through their whole list of advertisers and seeing if any of those are on that list that you like to write about a lot, or are in the realm of possibility of you ever writing about them. And sort of keeping up with that is my best advice for that. So I do some sponsored content still on my blog, but I would say the bulk of my blog revenue comes from these affiliate programs.
What are 3 tips that you would have for up and coming bloggers that are just getting started and maybe starting to build a following but want to take it to the next level?
My number one tip is that this has to be something that makes you bolt out of bed in the morning. Whatever your topic is, whatever your your genre is, and your particular slant on it has to be unique. Your voice has to be unique. So it has to be something you like enough to do it for free. I would say that first and foremost. Blogging is a lot of work, so I would say that's number one. Number two is to be consistent. You can't have a successful blog if you're only posting, once every 2 weeks. You really, for blogging in particular, I'd say you really need to post at least twice a week minimum. The third thing is you really have to sort of do like a little bit of competitive analysis and see what else is going on in the space. And network, I would say networking, to talk to other bloggers, get to know them, have them guest post on your site, interview them for your site. There's a lot of sort of cross-pollination of, your audience and your, friends and coworkers, in this case, audience, that can lead to a lot of growth for your blog.
It's been fantastic chatting with you. Really interesting to hear how you've built this successful blog and so much more now. So it was a real pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.